This video shows the interactive demonstrations that I helped create in conjunction with subject matter experts or instructors, as well as our development team that display complex situations in an interactive manner, as well as include evaluation sequences to it so that the professor could evaluate the students as they progress through the instructions and through the different sides of these interactions. So essentially, these were created because an instructor wanted to create some type of interactive module based off of their own teaching versus what would typically be available in material provided by books or publishing companies or anything like that. And so the instructor would describe to me what type of situation that they want illustrated. I took that information, worked with my developers to help program these different kinds of demonstrations, and there's many of them that I can show you, but I'll show you just a couple of advanced ones for this purpose. And the role that this played was to help just facilitate learning of a complex topic in a simple manner so that students could easily grasp that material. And so just for example on this one, this is just an example of a 3D myoglobin, and this was for a chemistry class, and the professor asked if we can create a pretty involved illustration with this sequence. And so we programmed this in HTML5, and essentially the student loads this on their computer screen, or this pops up on a device as well, mobile device, and there's a simple set of instructions. And as you can see with this one, the student can actually move the structure around and manipulate it, and whenever they're ready, then they are prompted to add an oxygen to this. And so the student has to, through trial and error, figure out where the oxygen goes and how it connects and which way it works so that the structure will get to the ultimate structure that it needs to get to. And so with this situation, the student sees that they got it correct, and then they move on. And so there's a couple of questions, the progress bar, that they follow through, and as well as you can see here on the professor module, that this includes questions that the student is graded on. And so the student or the professor can actually control exactly what the student is doing with this, and they can be sure that learning has actually been achieved by going through this structure, or this simulation. So it's very interesting. I had a lot of progress with these simulations, and I will show you a couple more. Another demonstration that I just loaded is a little bit simpler than the previous one I just showed, but again, it describes a pretty complex topic, and this is just economic impact. So this is for an economics class, and the professor wanted a simple illustration of a situation, economic situation. And so this is more of just a progressive type of illustration where some type of impact is realized, and then the student has to analyze how that impact affects sampling. So in this case, it's a hockey tournament, and it's affecting visitors to a town. So similar to the Olympics that are going on currently. And so with this, the interactions show how much admission people are paying and the profits and everything like that. Students have to analyze what type of impact this occurs, or that occurs with this, and then as they progress through this, they have to continue to analyze and answer these questions, and then of course they become evaluated once again with this. So these are just simple image animations, but as you can tell, they're still just as effective. This last interaction I'll show is of an angiogenesis for biology. So this animation just basically again describes this pretty complex topic, and this is just a step-by-step animation that tells students exactly what they need to do, and then they'll see an interaction with that. And so there's no quiz component to this one. This is merely just demonstrative purposes. But we found it pretty useful because, again, it just really displays a complex topic in an easy to understand way. And so with these three examples I've discussed, they're a little bit of everything. So we had the very complex 3D one with a evaluation associated with it. We had a basic animation with images that also include images or an evaluation, and then lastly, we've created this step-by-step animation that shows the complex process without an evaluation. And so I've done this with pretty much every instructor that I worked and also it really helped uh, with entire departments being able to use Top Hat, and it was a really neat aspect of instructional design that I was able to take advantage of, which I'm pretty happy with. So I have others I can demonstrate as well, but I hope that showed a pretty good example of them. Thanks.